This twin have the thickest hair on the internet, and they have been growing out their hair for the past 20 years. Ciprianna and TK, also known as TK Wonder, are identical twin sisters with what I would say is the thickest hair on the internet. Because honestly guys, I've not yet seen any other person across all the other social media platforms with this level of density and insanely thick hair. Which leads me to what I know a lot of you are already thinking: genetics. However, while I do believe their hair being so thick is as a result of genetics, I do not believe genetics has anything to do with how they've been maintaining the thickness of their hair and growing it long over the past 20 plus years.
For example, this was Ciprianna's hair at 6 years natural, and this is her hair today at 19 years natural. TK, on the other hand, is 22 years natural, and they both have their personal routine that they do to maintain the thickness of their hair and keep it growing longer.
So, if you've always thought having this amount of thickness and length means things are easier and you don't have to put in anywhere to grow your hair, my sister, come closer. That is far from the truth.
Ciprianna and TK also had very full and long natural hair as children, but similar to many of us, they tried to change their texture with chemicals and it damaged their hair, which was especially worse for Ciprianna because all her hair started to fall out and she had to start her natural hair journey all over again with just 1 inch of hair. So guys, she was basically bald.
Now, in terms of products, which I know many of you are curious about, I was literally shocked when I found out what these ladies use. When I tell you simple, I mean simple. These ladies only use jojoba and coconut oil. Let that sink in. Jojoba and coconut oil. No, I was there saying, what about the water? What about the water? What's going on here? Wagwan, yes, so wetting, they happen. Because in the natural hair community, if there's no moisture, like, oh, that work. But later on, I did find out while doing more research that they solely dry detangle. And if you don't know what dry detangle means, dry detangling is when you detangle without any water or any form of moisture. So it's mainly just detangling with oils. No, that is amazing for them, but it might not work for you, and it certainly doesn't work for me, at least not long term, because there are times when I do dry detangle, but it's only when my hair can tolerate it, like when I am detangling and I realize that I don't have to be using so much moisture, I can just detangle my hair dry.
Dry detangling is really a technique that you can't just get up and do because it can lead to you damaging your hair. So you have to understand your hair to be able to know when you can do it.
And guys, what I also realized about the twin is that they're open to things that works for them, even if there's a controversy surrounding it. For instance, a lot of ladies are against using grease, but Ciprianna and TK use grease from time to time when they are away from their usual jojoba and coconut oil, and they're fine with using it because grease also works for them. I believe all of us should have that sort of resolve to, stick to what works for us, even if nobody else understands, because I mean, it is your hair, and at the end of the day, only you know your hair and only you understand what your hair likes and what it dislikes. So my next discovery is that even though Ciprianna and TK has been in the fashion and music industry and have been modeling for years now, the only person that they allow to style their hair, take a quick guess. Guys, the only person they allow to touch and style their hair is themselves, and that's because they've had bad experiences with stylists rough handling their hair, which led to them losing a lot of hair and experiencing severe breakage that literally left them traumatized. So at the moment, nobody touches their hair. And as a natural hair girly who is trying to grow your hair long, my advice to you is the best decision you can make is to do your hair yourself, because as I said earlier, nobody, hear me ladies, nobody will understand and know your hair like you do.
When it comes on to hairstyles, Ciprianna and TK Wonder are very minimalistic with their styles. If you notice in the pictures, their hair basically always looks the same. TK Wonder keeps her hair in small loose braids, while Ciprianna keeps her hair in small loose twists. For TK, wearing her hair down works better because her strands are on the thicker side and are less prone to friction breakage, but it is not so for Cipriana. Cipri, on the other hand, hair strands are more fragile, so she tends to wear updos more frequently. Although from time to time you'll see her with her hair down to twin with her sister, which is cool by the way. I really love the bond they share. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Before I figured out that anyone can grow long natural hair, anyone can have healthy hair, anyone can have thick hair, I used to believe that people with this kind of hair is just blessed by genetics and they don't have to do anything. It's effortless. They can treat their hair anyhow and they'll still have long hair or even the thickness of their hair. But according to these ladies, this one thing has been the reason why they've been able to keep their hair this thick and this long for over the past 20 years. Take a look.
People want to know the reason why our hair, how we get the length that we achieve, right, and the thickness. People don't like to talk about genes because, let's face it, not everyone can achieve the same length, not everyone can achieve the same thickness. It also has to do with genetics, but also to a big reason as well for us is because of low manipulation. Mm-hmm. So when people want to be like, why I always wear the hair? I mean, I do change my
yeah, you change your hair more than I do
in the latter years, but for the big bulk of my natural journey, I would wear one style mostly, but I always wear a braid out because that prevents tangling. When people want to ask questions about our hair, low manipulation is a huge one for us in maintaining length.
I'm sure you heard them, guys. So the big part of why they've been able to retain the length and maintain the thickness of their hair is low manipulation. Now they have other things that they do to help with retaining length and maintaining the thickness, but low manipulation is the major one. Some other things that they do is washing their hair in braids. They never wash their hair loose. They always wash their hair in braids to avoid tangling, and you guys can see that they have a lot of hair, so they have to find a way to work with it and to make sure that they aren't damaged and breaking their hair off. They also only finger detangle. I did mention dry detangling, but I did not say anything about finger detangling. They finger detangle only. They do not use tools, they don't use combs, they don't use brushes, they only finger detangle. So even when they're dry detangling their hair, they will use their fingers. Another thing I realize is that they do not use heat. They avoid heat completely. Now, Ciprianna have used heat probably a couple times throughout her journey, but I think she no longer uses heat because according to her, whenever she uses heat, it causes breakage, and avoiding it helps her hair to grow and to stay thicker. So that is basically it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope if you've never seen these ladies before, you will check them out and support their various platforms. They're on Instagram. You can find videos of them sharing their knowledge and expertise on natural hair on their YouTube platform. It's called Urban Bush Babes, so go and check them out and catch up on all they've been doing to take care of their hair. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.